Hey there folks, today just thought I would make a video today. I got Mac, my nearly 4-year-old Argentine black and white Tegu. Got him out and I'm holding him, spending some time with him today. He's going to probably get a little squirmy. He's woken up. But I want to talk to you today about something just a little annoying, over the last couple of years that people, YouTube, everyone's an expert. It doesn't matter. They don't have any reptiles, or they have snakes. They think they're an overall reptile expert. Or if they have a monitor or 1 or 2 or 3 monitors, they think they're an expert in all lizards. Well, I'm here to tell you, a lot of you don't know. There may be some really educated people that just want to have monitors and that have studied all, in school and college, and have studied a wide variety of different reptiles, or they work at a zoo, and so they have a lot of experience. But most people on YouTube, and the planet's a large, it's a large planet. Lots of people, everyone can see people's YouTube videos from little bitty towns across 1,000 miles, or 2,000 or 3,000 miles. But I tend to get people that post things on my channel in a good way to kind of figure out, who it is. You just click on their channel and go visit their channel, and you can find out all kinds of things by doing that. You can find out who they've been talking to and posts that they've made, whether most of their posts are negative or critical. You can see what they've been, viewing or what their interests are. Sometimes people type things and list what they're good at or what they like doing. You can also tell a lot by, what people are interested in by what they make videos on. You can look at mine and you can see I have cars, I have electric e-bikes, I have knives and guns, I have reptiles, boas, tegus, and I guess I got even some other things, drone video and photography. I have a lot of interest, so you can go to my channel and you can see exactly what I should have knowledge in if I'm making a lot of videos on, and I've got nearly almost 1,000 videos. So a lot of people, I just wanted to make a video quickly today, try to get to the point. The differences between a tegu and a monitor. Monitor lizards, there's like 70, 100 different types of monitors from Asia, from Australia. I'm sure they're down in South America. They're pretty much across the planet. You've got all these different sizes and different requirements for these monitors, but they are all very similar, just like tegus. Tegus come from South America, mostly. Probably all of them come from South America, but South America is like 2,000 miles, or 1,700 miles from North South America to South America. So there's a wide range of different climates and things, and so there's just the tegus. There's different tegus in that area, but all the tegus are pretty similar. So the differences between tegus and monitors. Let's get into that right now. All right, Mac's starting to get a little squirmy, but I got my phone right over here so I can look at my notes. I was just driving to one of my jobs, and I was like, man, what? Thinking about, because I think about a lot of people comment on things, and some people are just difficult to deal with. It's like, why are you commenting and saying these things? But YouTube's a place where people comment and say things, so I got to live with it. But let's go with first thing that I thought that was different, and I want to add, if you have some more things you want to add, or 1 or 2 things or more, go ahead and comment. Let's have a conversation that the difference between tegus and monitors. I'm not invested in monitors, and I do not own monitors, and I'm not doing research on monitors. I had a Savannah monitor, about a 2.5 foot Savannah monitor when I was 14 years old, and I'm 54 now, so that was a long time ago. But I have 2 of these tegus from Argentina, and so I've done a ton of research because I'm a responsible owner, and I want to make sure they're cared for and they get everything they need. So I am invested in this animal and learning everything pretty much that I can about taking care of this animal and what they need. So first thing I want to mention is that they have, and it's with their eyes, they have a little protector. They have eyelids, so when they go to sleep, or they calm down, or they have eyelids where they can shut and rest their eyes. But they also, when they're eating or running through the brush or something, they have a little slit that crosses like a shark across their eye. So they have a lid that comes down, the main lid, and they have a little portion of their eye that has a little cover on it that slides. That's very, very, very cool, and that's Tegus have that, but monitors don't have that. So there is a big difference with that with their eyes. Pretty cool. Most people probably don't know that or didn't even consider it. Okay, the next thing that research has shown that Tegus, even though they are cold-blooded, endothermic or exothermic, how they control their body temperature either by the sun heating them up, or humans, we eat food and we have metabolism and it keeps our body, in the 98 degrees, 90, in that temperature zone. So we produce our own heat. But tegus have the ability, even though they are still reptiles and they can't change their temperature a whole bunch, they can elevate their temperature enough in different situations. They have that ability to do that. So that's unlike, I think, every other reptile on the planet. Tegus have a little bit of an ability to raise their temperature in their body themselves. So that's another interesting fact. And as far as I know, all this stuff, again, I'm not an expert on monitors, but I've never seen that or heard that. So that's something that's unique to Tegu lizards. Also, too, that's pretty unique to most of the Tegu lizards in South America is they dig deep burrows and they spend a large portion of their life underground. Monitors can dig holes and burrows too. I think the Aki monitor and maybe some other monitors dig holes in Australia, but that is not what they really do, dependent on how they brumate. Because when these tegus brumate during the colder months, the ones that are not in the warm all year round part of South America, they go underground. Because South America, even though we think it's tropical down there, it gets down to the 30s, 40s, and 50s at night. And in the winter, it can get down probably to the 20s and 30s. So tegus got to be able to go underground and hibernate for what we call mammals. They go underground, brumate for reptiles, and so they can stay up in between the 59 to 75 degrees underground, because that's where the temperature sits underground. Max wanting to get down. Come here, sweetie. Don't do that. You've got to be in the video because I'm talking about you. So they dig deep burrows. They spend a lot of time underground, and there's more to that. And so that's what they do. The next thing that is difference between tegus and monitors is I've watched a lot of monitor videos, because it's like everyone on the internet makes monitor videos. So if you want to watch reptile videos, you're going to watch monitor videos. But monitors, again, from the best of my knowledge and learning, because I don't have one, they lay eggs every year. They don't need to have a male and female get together, to produce eggs. As far as I know, it looks like monitors or some of these Asian monitors and some of these crop monitors and these other type larger monitors, they just produce eggs, the females, and it depends on if the male puts a sperm in them, that the eggs will actually produce a baby. But it's like a chicken. Chickens produce eggs all year round. They just have eggs, and if they're not fertilized, they just produce an egg, and it's not going to produce a baby. I'm not a farmer or anything about that. I don't get too much into that stuff, but tegus females will only produce an egg or produce babies when a male hops up on the female and inserts their little male part in them and puts that sperm in there and then fertilizes the eggs, and we have a baby. So that's a pretty big difference between tegus and monitors. But also too, monitors cannot drop their tails. Tegus can drop their tails. If a predator is after them, or I mean, if I pulled on one and the Tegu was worried, and felt like he needed to get away, I mean, he could drop a portion of his tail all the way probably up to about right here on his tail. So a defense mechanism, it helps them escape a predator possibly. And, a monitor you could pick up by the end of his tail and hold him up and dangle him by his tail. You wouldn't want to really do that with a Tegu. That's a huge difference. Let's look at some other things. Tegu's diet is pretty much big difference between a monitor. Monitors eat more, they're carnivores, they eat more rodents, they eat birds, they will eat fish and things of like that, food source, but it's more meat. Tegus do eat meat too as well, chicks, rats, mice. But they also eat a lot of insects. And I know some of the younger monitors eat insects too, but even as large tegus, they'll partake on insects, worms, beetles, larvae, all kinds of different things. Snails, big on snails in the wild, but that also comes down to another thing with their teeth. But tegus also eat nuts and berries and flowers. That's a large part of their diet. They don't eat a lot of grass or just leaves off a bush. They're not like a giraffe, but they do eat what they call flowers, vegetation flowers, something with that's brightly colored. Obviously the tegus in the wild know what flower to eat and what flowers not to eat, because some flowers will make them sick, but they like a hibiscus flower. I feed mine hibiscus flowers, and they're heavy or very rich in nutrients and antioxidants. So I feed mine that, and also what attracts them to flowers is the nectar. Some flowers produce nectar, and that's what usually attracts them to the flowers, but they enjoy flowers. But they also, too, that takes me to my next little difference, is their teeth. And I've got some illustrations or some photos here of the different teeth between monitors and tegus. Tegus have a different type of tooth that goes back into their mouth. They have the more dagger-like teeth, or the more pointed straight down teeth in the front, and then as it goes towards the middle or the front portion of their mouth, they become a little bit more recurved and a little bit more shark-like shape. And then as they go back further, they turn into flat molars for crushing, not for chewing, mashing grass together and leaves, but for smashing shells, snail shells, hard shells, egg shells, insects, hard shells. So they have a lot of those, about the last 4 rows or 5 rows of flat molar type teeth, and that's for crushing. So as you look at the pictures, you can see that the monitors have jagged, long teeth all the way back, and it's definitely, you get bit by a monitor and it's going to really cut you open, where a tegu will cut you open. It's not nearly probably as bad as a monitor bite, but tegu bites are pretty nasty too. And then another thing, the difference between monitors and tegus: monitors have this long, skinny neck and comes up to a much more narrow head that's longer. Tegus have a very broad neck, especially the males, and they have these muscles, these jowl, Jowel, I think I've got that right, muscles. And in a male, the bigger those muscles are, the more attractive they are to the females. So that's, I don't know what you call that as far as the making yourself look more attractive to the females, with colors and size of different things. But these are also their big muscles that are attached to their mouth, so they can crush large snail shells. They eat a lot of snails in the wild, and insects with hard shells, and again eggs, so they got to have really big muscles. Of course, that's only in the males. The females still have pretty stout heads and necks, but a lot more girthy, more mass in a tegu's neck than a monitor, which is long and skinny, and which also, these things expand as they eat things, so they can eat quite a bit larger things than what their mouth is sized for. But Mac is really wanting to get down now. Oh yeah. So that's another difference: head shape, neck shape, and monitors don't have big jowl muscles. And then the last thing which was pointed out to me from Kevin at Nerd, which is very, very intelligent, very experienced, mega experienced reptile keeper. Tegus do not rely on UVB. They can go without UVB for a really long time. I'm not saying that UVB a little bit here and there is not good for them, or it doesn't, when people stay inside for a long amount of time and don't get sun, it's not good for them. They need to get a little bit of sun, but we don't continue to exist or not exist if we don't have sun, vitamin D from the sun, but it is healthy. Reports say that, keeping a reptile in some sun or some UVB increases the color and the contrast of their skin. It just makes them look a little prettier. But these animals, again, spend a lot of time underground, brumating 6 to 7 months where they see no light. And between, day and night cycle when they're out running around, they just spend a lot of time down under the ground. So they're not getting the full spectrum of light when they're underground, or any light, probably for that fact. But yeah, that's everything, the differences between tegus and monitors. So it's kind of difficult for someone that's an expert or a presumed expert only in monitors to comment and tell me, I'm doing something wrong, or I'm not doing something right, or I'm doing this wrong with humidity, I'm doing this right with temperature, or the personality of a tegu, because personalities between a tegu and a monitor are very, very different. Like I've just shown, the bodies are different, metabolisms are probably different. Tegus do not require the same amount of heat that monitors tend to. Monitors tend to be in the 90 to up to 130 degrees that they like and pretty much need, where tegus are more 79 to maybe high 80s. That's where they like. And I'm not saying that tegus don't go sit in a basking spot for a short amount of time to get their bodies a little higher temperature wise than that, but most of the time they like to hang out in about 85 degrees, 86 degrees, and then at night they like to be down into probably the mid to high 70s. So that tegus have just different requirements, but very interesting to discuss. If I miss something that you can think of that tegus have that monitors don't, or if you want to mention what monitors have that tegus don't, that's cool too. Let's talk about it. I'm interested, and I'm not saying that I am the world's expert in tegus, but I do try to educate myself. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video and find my content informative or interesting at least. Check back for more videos. I'm starting to really get really sweaty in here. I just don't do well without AC, as most of you probably do too, and high humidity, because you just have to keep the humidity up a little bit higher. But that's Mac. We appreciate you watching today too, and check me out again. Bye-bye.